Today we are on a magnificent 50m Tankoa called Kinder, close to La Spezia in Italy. My name's David Seal. This is the Yachts for Sale blog YouTube channel, and if you enjoy watching walkthrough videos of yachts that actually are for sale, you're in the right place. So don't forget to like and subscribe. First of all though, here are some technical details that you need to know about this model. She has a length overall of 50 meters, so that's 164 feet. A beam of 9.4 meters, 30 feet and 10 inches. A draft of 2.35 meters, 7 feet and 9 inches. Her gross tonnage is 496. This gives her a top speed of 17 knots. A cruising speed of 12 knots from engines that are two 1,400 horsepower MAN V12 units. And she was delivered in the year 2022. And both her hull and her superstructure are of aluminium. As I looked around Kinder, she struck me as being a very beautiful yacht in her simplicity, but with quite a complex and sophisticated heart. Now, I'm going to tell you about that at the end of the video, so don't go anywhere. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the foredeck, which is essentially a working area. The tender here is not the main tender on board. We'll show that to you a little bit later. So the crew use this for garbage runs, if they have to go to shore to get more supplies. It's really mostly the crew tender. As you can see, you have the jet skis here, you have a large crane as well for launching and retrieving them, but it's sunken down to a slightly lower level as a working area because up here it's out of sight of a very cool area on the yacht. Now recently we've been filming yachts in the 120 foot range, so let's say the 34, 35 meter range, and when you get to the 50 meter you get more than double the yacht. It's not proportionate to the length. The volume is quite incredible, and this is a great example. A lot of those 110 foot yachts have a lovely seating area on the foredeck, but nothing quite like this. I mean, look at it, these lovely big sofas here, the tables, the chairs, and that pool. Now, I can't call that a jacuzzi, it's way too big. I can't call it a swimming pool because it's not quite that big, but it's a great plunge pool. And as you can see, at the moment, we've got quite a lot of swell in the pool. We've had quite a few boats go past and the wake rocks the boat a little bit. But it was a good opportunity to show you this very ingenious drainage system, that you have a glass pool within a glass pool with this beautiful stainless steel drainage here, so that it's actually recirculating the water all the time. I mean, we've been out at sea now for quite a few hours. They haven't refilled the pool, so the water obviously is just draining and going back in. Oh, what a glorious place to be able to really enjoy being on board the yacht. We'll move further aft, and as we do so, I'll point out that we've also got these supports here dotted around for a sun awning over the foredeck. These can also be removed, of course, and stowed away. Here we have one of the two wing stations, and you've got plenty of equipment there for the captain to be able to just get out of the bridge, come here on either side and have a good view of his surroundings when they're mooring the yacht. We'll be looking at the bridge and all the crew areas shortly, but what I wanted to do, the most logical way I think of showing you this yacht, is from starting at the top on the sun deck and then working our way down deck by deck. And here's a great example of the beauty in the simplicity of this particular area. Sunbathing, seating area, very large pop-up television with plenty of storage and refrigeration space underneath, but there's little features that I didn't immediately notice that add to the beauty and the elegance of the yacht. Such as, for example, usually you have stainless steel railings all the way around, and that's quite right because it's a security feature. You don't want people to fall off of the yacht. Here though, they've got double glazing all the way around, so you still have that great safety, you still have the height, but you can also enjoy far better views all the way around through the glass, and it doesn't disturb the profile of the yacht. I think that the owner of this yacht must be somebody who really knows what he wants out of the vessel. He clearly enjoys company and his family to be around him, because this is such a lovely family area for sunbathing, for sitting, enjoying the view, for eating together. The table arrangements here is actually quite flexible. Here you can see it as 2 coffee tables, but it can fold out for use as a dining table, and it also raises for more comfortable dining position. And that theme continues down to the next deck. Here again, very simple, very elegant on the bridge deck, the upper deck, aft. Interestingly, I said to the crew, there's no need to do any sort of spread on the table. We really want to show the yacht the way that it is and talk about the technical areas and the layout of the yacht. But they insisted, this is such a special vessel to them, they insisted on making this lovely spread on a dining table that's big enough for 12 people, because it's wide enough and it's been done in a way you can easily get 2 seats comfortably with lots of elbow room all the way around. Here you've got refrigeration underneath, and I'm pretty sure an ice maker too. And then this lifts so that you've got a work surface here for food prep. And that's something as well. As we look through the yacht, you'll see that a lot of thought has been given to the flow for food preparation, because there are a few things really enjoyable that you can do on a yacht. I mean, one obviously is the water sports, swimming, the scenery. But I've said it a million times and I'll never tire of saying it. Eating on a yacht too is such a delight. And if you have a good chef, and let me tell you, this yacht has an amazing chef, and a good workflow for the yacht as well, it enhances the enjoyment on board. By the way, on the topic of the double glazing that they use, look, they've even done it here. I think that's fantastic. Usually you would have stainless steel there, which, to be fair, stainless steel looks great, but it does block your vision. This kind of invisible railing here is just a little bit more sophisticated, just a little bit more beautiful than I've seen on other yachts. And talking of things that are very beautiful, let's take a look inside. This is probably as good a time as any to tell you that the exterior design of Kinder is done by somebody called Francesco Paskovsky, who is one of the greats of exterior yacht design. I'm sure he does interior design as well. I know that some of these designers don't like to be categorized, so at the risk of offending him, which I'm sure I won't, I've always found his designs to be very sleek, very sexy, a little bit aggressive as well. I really do enjoy seeing Paskovsky designs, but the interior is done by somebody called Margherita Casprini, who is a wonderful interior designer, also very popular in the yachting scene. There's not a lot I can say about this area. You'll be able to see for yourself the footage of how beautiful it is, but I want to point out this. Her use of these beautiful curves on the leather, and that's something you'll see throughout the yacht, and it continues even in this magnificent custom-made sofa on both sides, again with that lovely stitching, beautiful leather, fantastic curves. When it all comes together, it creates such a lovely, warm, relaxing atmosphere. I mentioned earlier the practical configuration for dining on board, and here is another example. A small butler's pantry tucked away on the port side, with a dumbwaiter so that food can easily be moved up here from the galley that, as we will see later, is below deck. Through here we have a dayhead, and we'll be looking a little bit more at the bridge area in a few moments. And let's go down and take a look at the main deck too. I really have been looking forward to showing you the main deck because there's so much to see here. And I thought on this occasion, instead of starting aft and working forward, We'd do it differently. We would start at the forward end and work aft, and at the forward end we have the owner's stateroom, which, look at it, absolutely magnificent. Again, I think Margherita Casprini has done an amazing job in the interior design here, and many yachts are putting in full height windows and balconies, but look, you don't need any more light than this. This is absolutely beautiful in its appointment. I mean, look, it's a 50-meter yacht, that's 164 feet, so you'd expect a large master stateroom. This yacht doesn't disappoint. We have a walk-in closet through there, very well sized bathroom through here, with a toilet and bidet to my left, very big shower. And Slava, when you get a moment, you really must film that shower head, because that is quite something in there. I can hardly think of a better way of starting the day than waking up in that stateroom and getting under that shower. Another few details as well, for example, this really beautifully made table and chair here, which I guess is going to be used probably as a beauty cabinet, somewhere to put your lipstick and makeup on in the morning, because you certainly don't need it as an office area when you have this study here. And something I want to mention, which I've said in other videos, but I think bears repeating, is the amount of owners now that come to the yacht and spend a lot of time on the yacht, because with internet access being as good quality as it is now, they can happily work from the yacht. And at the same time, while they're working from the yacht, their children, their grandchildren are playing around in the rest of the yacht. So when it's time for lunch, they get up, they have lunch with their family, come back, a little bit more work. If it was me, a bit of a kip in the afternoon in my cabin. When we talk about yachting as being a lifestyle, that's what it means. And when you can integrate necessary work that needs to be done with time with your family, that is really using a yacht to enrich your life. I didn't expect to see this through here, an extra cabin, beautifully appointed as well, with a similarly beautiful appointed ensuite bathroom. Now, why would you want to put a cabin here? Well, there are a few reasons. One is if you have a lot of friends who you enjoy inviting to the yacht, then it's good to have this extra accommodation. The same is true with people with big families who just want to invite the extra people on board. They can sleep here. But also this often becomes referred to as a snore room. Now that may sound humorous, and I guess it is a little bit humorous, but it's also very practical. There are so many couples who've been together for a long time. One snores, the other can't sleep when that one snores. And so it's great to have an extra cabin here, so close to the owner's cabin, so that if necessary in the night, one can get up, come in here and have a good night's sleep. I actually have met a number of yacht owners and clients at boat shows who are looking specifically for a yacht that has this, because it becomes a big part of their life. And this is a great thing to have. Whether you snore or not, it's good to have this extra accommodation. And of course, this is not the only extra cabin on board, because further down there we have access to the guest accommodation. We'll be looking at that later, but although it doesn't look like it, there's a lot I want to show you right here. For example, the day head for the main deck, access to the crew quarters, which can be accessed from either side of the vessel, so it's easier for the crew to come out here and give whatever service they need to give to the guests. But what looks like simple wall paneling is far more than that, because this actually all opens up. And we have the racks for the IT and AV system, not just behind here, but also behind here, and more storage behind there as well. This is really the lobby that would welcome you if you access the yacht from the side door there. And we had a problem filming this, so we're gonna film it in B-roll for you. But behind this panel here, there is an absolutely lovely china cabinet that in turn hides another area for storage, which actually the crew was so proud when they showed it to me, and I can see why, because it's a very cool extra storage area on the yacht. I also liked this, that there's a switch to go through to the main salon that you don't even have to touch. You just kind of get your finger close to it, a little bit like the like button on YouTube, except for you do have to press that. and the main salon. I'll let you go first, Slava, so we get an impact for how beautiful that place is. The space here really hits you when you walk in. It uses as much of the beam of the yacht as it possibly can, considering that there's side decks too. Again, it's the simplicity which I found to be very, very beautiful on board. And I really do mean that. When you come to look at the details, again, with this lovely curved stitched leather, it's an absolute tribute, not just to the interior designer, but for the owner's family as well, with such taste. I love this unit here. I noticed actually that it's separated. It's not right up against the bulwark there, but it's there's a separation, and that's because in all likelihood behind those panels there you need to be able to access all kinds of technical equipment. I would imagine you have air handlers for the air conditioning that need filters changing. And I've spoken a lot to the crew while I was on board. They're a fantastic bunch of people, and what was really nice was they were saying how easy the yacht is to look after and to keep clean. It's really been well thought out. They said there's not all of these high gloss varnished surfaces that all the time you're getting fingerprints off of. It's extremely elegant, extremely well thought out. Particularly one of the stews was saying to me how much storage space is hidden away. And we're going to come back to that topic when we look below deck at the cabins, but this is a great example. It looks like a unit there that's just a bit of cabinetry. Actually, there's good deep storage space there for all kinds of things. One of my favorite areas though is the aft deck. You know, on nearly every yacht we film, our shoes are put into a nice chest and then nobody can find them when it's time to leave. I loved the fact that the owner of Kinder had thought of this and included deep drawers in the outside furniture that are just perfect for storing your shoes. Easy to find and in a great location before you leave the yacht. Look what a glorious area this is. Now, I mentioned earlier that we've been filming quite a few yachts recently that are in the 30 to 35 meter range, and they're lovely yachts and they have fantastic fly bridges, beautiful foredecks, really, really lovely yachts. But I've come to the aft deck and I thought it's almost like the aft deck's been an afterthought. It's been like, what are we going to do here? It's almost like this yacht was built around the aft deck. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. The seating area is magnificent. The sunbathing, the way they've extended that as far aft as they can. I see this as a fantastic family yacht. I can imagine being with family and friends, everybody sitting around here, the crew bringing us something to drink and nibbles to eat, everybody laughing, having a chat. Again, those poles there are for a sun awning if you want it, to be able to further shade this area. This is a tribute to the manufacturer, it's a tribute to the designer, and it's a tribute to the owner who clearly knew what they wanted out of their yacht. And it doesn't end here, because further down, just look at this. Again, I really loved the fact that from the moment that we came on board, the crew wanted to help in every way that they could. They made this setup here, which is the way the yacht would be when the owner's on board. I would imagine when the owner's on board, it's a little bit hotter than it is today. You might wonder what these are. These are actually fenders, so that when you come on board with the tender, and sometimes it's a rigid hull, not an inflatable hull, and so these protect the yacht so that they can push right up, and it's easy for one of the crew. You give them your hand and they help you on board and lead you up. This is a very, very cool area. You can see behind Slava, we'll show you in B-roll, there's a really good solid stairway so you can get in and out of the sea very, very easily. And again, talking about this subject of knowing what each area of the yacht should be and what you want to use that area for, down here, where many people would put a seating area, which I've never quite understood because you're a little bit at a low level, so you can't fully appreciate the sea views. They have their seating here and up there, and they've used this for a gym, and it's a great area for a gym as well. All Techno Gym equipment. This is a Peloton bike. Techno Gym there, and you have a decent sized day head here with a shower in there as well. So the way I see this being used is that if you've been in the ocean and you come out having had a swim, there's a shower there which you probably use to shower off. If you've been in the gym, just using the gym, you can shower off in there afterwards if you wish to. A very, very well thought out yacht, and a very, very beautiful yacht too. And we haven't even finished because we need to look at the guest accommodation. 4 staterooms, 2 twins, 2 doubles. Very nicely proportioned, I have to say. Nice big bathroom. I like the fact that you can either totally open this up or close it for obvious reasons. Now, as always, in a few moments, we'll be showing you all of the cabins with some lovely music so that you can appreciate the spaces and the design. Now, one of the things I really enjoyed about this yacht is the way that the designer has hidden things away so that it blends seamlessly into the design of the vessel. I mean, certain things run all the way through, right? You've got this, again, lovely stitched leather, lovely curves all the way through. But then when I walked into this cabin, I said, where are the wardrobes? And it's almost like the designer said, we don't want something as ugly as a wardrobe in a cabin. And this entire paneling here, the wardrobes, which are decent sized wardrobes too, I have to say, are hidden away behind it. But the same is true in all of the cabins. The same is true here. I thought this must be storage space behind here, and sure enough, you have storage space behind it. It's also true here, what looks like a bulkhead, very nicely finished. There's storage behind there. What I particularly liked, even the handle here is hidden away, like a Tesla. And here, there's a corridor that goes through to the crew quarters, which is absolutely perfect for the crew to be able to come in and out, change the linen. The laundry's through there too. And that probably segues very nicely into the crew quarters after you've taken a look around the cabins here. A quick word for the stairwell here too though. Such a beautiful design. Keeping it open like this prevents the below deck lobby becoming claustrophobic. The curvature of the wood is beautiful. It all ties in seamlessly with Casprini's interior design and creates a harmonious ambience on board. But enough of the guest areas, let's consider the crew spaces. The bridge on Kinder is extremely well laid out. Now I noticed that it didn't have a seating area for guests to sit at, but the upside of that is that the captain has a very respectably sized cabin immediately after the bridge. And the outside deck space on this level is actually quite amazing on this deck. If I was a captain, I think I would prefer this arrangement. And if I was an owner or family too, I would most certainly prefer it. So that's a win-win for the 2 most important characters on board. The main deck is quite an unusual and interesting layout as far as crew areas are concerned. And again, it has a strong reasoning behind it. To port, where I expected the galley to be, there was a butler's pantry, again with access to the dumbwaiter, and stairs leading down to the crew quarters and the galley. I had a great time talking to the Italian chef on Kinder and actually learned quite a lot about Italian cuisine. This is incredibly well equipped, even with a steam oven and a separate microwave that the chef was at pains to tell me has never been used, so the yacht comes with a brand new microwave too. Further forward, there is a walk-in fridge with a freezer annex, and a further 4 crew cabins with ensuite heads. The crew mess is really large for a yacht of this size. Even the crew themselves commented on it. And I was surprised to see a laundry with no less than 3 washers and 3 dryers. Tender storage on board is forward of the beach club and has a side shell door for launch and retrieval. The tender is a Castaldi 21 jet, by the way. I mentioned earlier though that the yacht also has a more complex side to it, and we find that in the engine room. To the naked eye we see 2 MAN engines and 2 250 kilowatt generators. Interestingly, they are variable speed, which gives us a hint of what is to come. Dig deeper and she actually has a sophisticated hybrid system that allows the yacht to run traditionally with the diesel engines. She can run for a limited time with electric motors from the batteries, or from the generators, or from the mains. And you can also power the entire hotel load for an extended period from the batteries alone, so you can sleep peacefully without the noise of the generators. You know, I don't like to use the word used when I talk about yachts, and that's because I enjoy marketing, and the word used and yachts somehow seems to cheapen the product to me. But the truth is that in some respects, a yacht is like a living organism, right? The heart needs to beat, the lungs need to pump, blood needs to circulate the vessel for it to be a healthy body. In the same way, a yacht, the engines need to run, the generators need to be used, the water maker, all the systems, the crew need to be working, the yacht needs to go places. And in that sense, this is one healthy yacht that's being used well by the owner and his family, so much so that really you could literally step on board tomorrow and off you go on your vacation. One of the things I've really enjoyed with this shoot was interacting with the crew, learning from, speaking to the captain. He was telling me 2 things which I wanted to pass on to you. One was the hybrid system on board. He said the way that he finds it best to use is, generally speaking, he'll run the yacht using the traditional inline shaft propulsion. But one of the functions it has, the shaft as it spins, can be used as what's called a shaft generator. So it's harvesting energy as it's being used that then charges the batteries and can even be used for the hotel load. So he said, can you imagine? He said, when you cross the Atlantic with a yacht like this, which by the way, it can easily do because it has a 4,400 nautical mile range at 12 knots. That's a pretty good speed for that kind of range, I have to tell you. But he said, can you imagine going across the Atlantic and all the way you're harvesting energy from the shafts as they're spinning? He said it's a considerable saving. Such an interesting conversation, but also something he was very rightly proud of was what he calls his preventative maintenance schedule. He knows when services are due, and instead of waiting for them, he gets things done immediately so that no problems really arise. And I guess on this yacht, apart from the beauty of the design, it really has struck me what a beautiful yacht Kinder is. One of the reasons that I think a buyer should seriously consider this yacht is because she's an open book. I don't think they have anything to hide. They're proud of the maintenance, and rightly so. You can ask any question and it will be answered. And the broker as well, David.legrand, I'm going to put his contact details in the description below, is somebody who's responsive, can get you the answer that you want, can interact with the crew and find you any information that you need as a qualified buyer. And so I would say to you, if you are a qualified buyer of a yacht of this size, do reach out to David. He'll get you on board and you can get all the questions that you need answered reliably.